Hey, greetings everyone. It's Naomi Wolf with Outspoken here on Substack Live and on many platforms. And today I'm reading an open letter that was created, written, and published by some of the most respected voices in the health freedom movement. I'm honored to have joined them. And it's an open letter that we wrote to HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. And the gist of the letter is, don't distract us, don't silence us, don't insult us, deliver on MAHA promises. So I'm just going to read the letter, and you can see it on my Substack Outspoken and shortly on dailyclout.io. It'll be on Shannon Joy's sites, on Sasha Latipova's Substack, on Dr. Mary Talley Bowden's sites and Substack, and you can sign it, you can send it, you can share it, but this is what we're objecting to. Dear HHS Secretary Kennedy and FDA Commissioner Dr. Makary, we are writing this open letter to express deep concerns about recent policies emerging from HHS, the CDC, and the FDA, specifically the omission of the dangerous mRNA injections from the recently released MAHA report and the reaffirmation of the CDC's recommendations for mRNA injections. Removal of the mRNA platform from the market is one of the main goals of the grassroots MAHA movement. Millions of concerned parents set aside partisan differences and identities to embrace the historic MAGA-MAHA alliance. Instead of policy action on these key issues, we, the undersigned, along with many other citizens, see a set of distractions, linguistic misdirections, and watered-down policy announcements that avoid taking serious action on the deadly mRNA injections. Contrary to what Dr. Makary recently stated, we do not need more data to establish whether the mRNA platform should or should not be recommended. The data are in from many credible sources, including numerous peer-reviewed publications, the analysis of the Pfizer documents released via Aaron Siri's lawsuit, VAERS and vSafe datasets, and data produced by foreign governments. The data show catastrophic levels of deaths and serious damage from the mRNA injections, as well as reproductive damage, including high miscarriage rates. We do not need more studies to pull the mRNA injections off the market. You do not need Congress or another election. You do not need a new mandate from voters. Your own appointments to HHS and the FDA and the election of President Trump in the MAGA-MAHA alliance are the mandate. Indeed, your recent wordplay about removing the mRNA injection from being recommended to pregnant women and healthy children appears misleading vis-a-vis the actual policy changes published by the FDA and CDC. The published policies reserve the power to recommend them for every child except the healthy. Most U.S. children, as you, Secretary Kennedy, have pointed out yourself, have health issues. And healthcare encounters often involve a currently sick child who may be labeled, quote, immunocompromised. If a child has asthma or allergies, prediabetes, or is overweight, or has a damaged heart or an impaired immune system, that child is not healthy, yet that child will now be targeted with an mRNA shot. It appears that you are going to continue to recommend the shots that now have an FDA warning for heart damage to children with heart damage and recommend a shot that damages the immune system to parents of children whose immune systems are compromised. The new FDA COVID shot policy claims to be evidence-based. However, no evidence was provided, and none exists to our knowledge that supports statements that the categories of people marked as vulnerable by this FDA policy would benefit from the mRNA injections. Conflating clearly established risks with automatically assumed benefit from a product that is still legally a poorly regulated, liability-free EUA countermeasure under PrEP Act emergency declaration defies scientific reason and common sense. You stated the shots were removed from the CDC recommendation for pregnant women, but pregnancy remains listed as a high-risk health category in the revised FDA policy for mRNA vaccines. It is especially troubling that the new versions of mRNA injections are recommended for all pregnant women without this platform ever having been tested and proven safe in pregnancy. Pregnant women have not been made any safer by your wordplay. Lastly, there is evidence of the removal of parental rights to choose the health treatment for their children buried in CDC's language. Even for healthy children, the CDC insists on parents, quote, sharing the decision with healthcare providers, including pharmacists who lack authority to treat patients. By stating the decision to inject a child with mRNA is a, quote, shared decision, while, quote, routine injections are treated as the, quote, default decision to inject, end quote, a dangerous legal precedent is being set, assigning powers to the federal government that have legally belonged only to parents. We object strongly to any more equivocation and prevarication from HHS. We did not fight for you to be in positions of leadership so that our clearly stated policy goals would suffer a bait and switch that rebrands MAHA's powerful objection to the damaging mRNA platform as a concern about the coloring agents added to Skittles. MAHA is not the possession of Secretary Kennedy, Commissioner Marty Makary, Advisor Kelly Means, or Surgeon General nominee Dr. Casey Means. MAHA is the voice of millions of desperate parents, many with injured or deceased children. Those furious parents were active before any of you were in office, and their activism will outlast any administration. The MAHA vote, especially of independent moms, is an historic game changer. Neither MAGA nor the Democrats could have won without this critical swing vote. MAHA voters can walk away if we continue to see inaction, let alone condescending non-policy on our core issues. And we will. If you continue to ignore the centerpiece of our policy agenda, taking all mRNA products covered by PrEP Act emergency declarations entirely off the market, you will pay a political price. We will run our own candidates at the state level, and we will find other challengers and sponsors who share our values and get behind our draft bills at the federal level for the midterms and even for 2028. We ask you to deliver our actual policy goals in the near term, or we advise that you will face the electoral consequences. 1, ban mRNA gene therapy-derived technologies for all vaccines due to definitively demonstrated abject failure regarding safety, efficacy, and disease prevention in the real-world setting of over 4 years of deployment and billions of administered doses. 2, terminate the PrEP Act declaration for COVID injections as there is no emergency. Extension of this declaration with its ironclad liability shield for manufacturers and administrators serves no public health interest whatsoever. 3, recommend that Congress repeal the PrEP Act entirely due to numerous constitutional conflicts. 4, ban pharmaceutical direct-to-consumer advertising, as is the case in every other country except New Zealand. 5, review and revise current HHS-level policies that create perverse incentives for healthcare providers for medical coercion, including, but not limited to, vaccinations. 6, end conflicts of interest at CDC, FDA, NIH, and NIAID. Sincerely, not for sale. And the signatories so far are Mary Talley Bowden, MD, Americans for Health Freedom, Naomi Wolf, DPhil, The Pfizer Papers, Shannon Joy, The Shannon Joy Show, Sasha Latipova, Due Diligence and Art, Dr. Henry Ely, Energetic Health Institute, Brad Skistimas, 5 times August, Catherine Austin Fitz, The Solari Report. And you can contact notforsalerelease@gmail.com. That's it. That's the letter. It's going up on all of our Substacks. It's going to be published on Daily Clout today. If you want to sign it, send your name and some verification that you are who you say you are to notforsalerelease@gmail.com. And very soon, later this afternoon, it'll be up on Mary Talley Bowden's website, Americans for Health Freedom, and you'll be able to sign it directly there. So every mighty oak starts with a little acorn. These are just 6 or 7 signatories, but we trust that many millions of people are waking up to the fact that the leadership at HHS and FDA is not representing our interests as health freedom activists, as medical freedom activists, as freedom activists, and as activists to protect children. And in politics, when you can't get what you want through alliances, you get what you want through opposition and hopefully serious negotiation. So this is a warning shot peacefully across the bow of Secretary Kennedy and Commissioner Marty Makary. There are millions of possible voters who are going to walk away if we don't get what you all campaigned for and what we all elected you for. And we've put that out very, very clearly. If you support this position, sign up, support us, send your support to Americans for Health Freedom so we can run our own candidates. Sign the letter, share the letter, post the letter, cross-post the letter. And if you don't agree with it, let us know. But in the meantime, we have said what we have to say. It's up to all of us to protect our children and to protect the next generations. And it's up to all of us as Americans to stand up and speak out when our leaders are defying the will of the people who elected them. Thanks, everybody. This is Naomi Wolf, and you can support us at dailycloud.io. You can support me over on Outspoken on Substack, or you can support the other signatories of the letter, and certainly Americans for Health Freedom. Thank you, everyone. Take care.